Alrighty, CNT140. We're down to pulling all the pieces together to submit our bid specification project. So I'm on the bid spec assembly, project assembly page. So let's open these notes right here. And we're going to work down through these to make sure we have all the pieces we need to get them submitted to the Dropbox on D2L. Alright, so the first part here is just kind of a reminder of all the pieces we've done to date. The last thing being we did our timeline, our project information timeline Gantt chart, and then we also created our page with our project descriptions. Those are the things that didn't fit in all the charts and graphs and diagrams we've done previously. So let's scroll down to the next page. I have a couple of general reminders here. Use this as a way, this document is a way to make sure you have all your pieces ready for submission. All I did was copy kind of over from the rubric over to here and add a couple notes to help you. Feel free to use the bid spec rubric and kind of check things off if you want to. Anyway, to make sure you have all your pieces together. Make sure on your, it's mainly your spreadsheet, you have your resources for the equipment that you were purchasing. Okay. We'll point that out when we open our spreadsheet here in a little bit. Do spell check. You know, if anything has a squiggly line under, try to fix it. Okay. We want to try to make this as professional as we can. Okay. We're not printing it out and putting it in a binder or anything like that, but we're just trying to make sure things are presentable to a customer. And any writing we do, don't forget we're going to do this in like third person. We're doing technical writing. So if you are still kind of checking your writing for your project descriptions, just remember, do third person. If need be, make up a company name for yourself. You know, the crazy cable guys or the DB cable guys or whatever. And just use that company name when you're writing. You know, the DB cable installers will. The DB cable installer technicians will. DB technicians will. You know, something like that. That way you can pull the use of I out and just leave it as you know, third person. Let it write it from the point of view of your technicians or your crew are going to install. That can be a helpful tip if you're still writing any of the pieces out. All right, so let's now gather things up for submission to D2L for our project. We are going to do a multi-file submission. You don't need to combine anything. You don't need to put it in a folder and zip it or anything like that. We're just going to submit the 5 or 6 files for our plan right to the Dropbox, but we'll make sure we have all the pieces here. So the first big piece we have is our spreadsheet. So let me open mine real quick. I'm going to go to my folder here. I'm going to open up my spreadsheet, and we're just going to make sure the pieces that we need are in here or labeled or something of the sort. We should have the estimation we did early on, and on that same page, the patch panel layout. So this was the estimation we did for how much cabling we need for the building over on this side. And then we also, while we were at it, we started laying out our patch panels, patch panel A, B, C kind of thing, and the ports and, you know, the labeling of the ports and so forth for the rooms. So there's my cable estimation and my patch panel layout. The other piece we need is the cost sheet, the equipment we were buying for the plan. This right here on the cost sheet. Making sure we have all the areas represented. Our sources over here, just out there in a column is fine. And then totaled up down here at the bottom. We added the certification cost in, and then the grand total down here. Making sure we have all those pieces. That we're just going to submit straight as an Excel file. So download this as an Excel file. If you did it in Excel, great, but if you did it in Google Sheets, just do a file. Download as Microsoft Excel to submit that. Submitting as PDF, it ends up chopping it up across like 20-some pages, and it's really hard to read. So just stick with Excel. If you used Excel, awesome. If you're using Google Sheets, export as Excel, and that will be very readable. That's your first piece. Next piece was our cable plan maps. Well, this is going to get accomplished 2 ways. The first thing is your Cisco packet tracer file. I'm going to open this to look at a couple different things in here. But in here, we're going to look to make sure in the packet tracer file, can we see our closet locations? Can we see the work area terminations, horizontal backbone cabling, that sort of thing. So in your packet tracer file, let me browse out here real quick. You know, when you first open this guy, it comes up blank. All right, that's fine. We're going to open the physical tab. We're going to navigate to our city. We'll navigate to our building. And in here, I'm going to be looking for the outlet boxes in all the rooms and labeled. Okay. I'm then going to be looking for all the horizontal cabling being routed out in the hallways, like it would be going down into the cable trays into the closets. I'm going to look for the closets. Those should have been there when you started it. Those should have been there for you. But I'm going to look for the closets there. I'm going to look for the fiber optic backbone link between the closets. So I'm going to be looking for all those pieces. Okay. And then eventually look for some outlet boxes in the hallway. I have one here for an access point. I have one up here for an access point. I have one over here for an access point, and I have one down here for an access point. I'll be looking for those two. That way we can plug an access point in there and have this place wired up for them wirelessly, if you will. So I'm going to look for all those things in the packet tracer file. The stuff we can't easily show should be in our Google Draw file. So early on, here's my cable plan map. I'm going to open this guy. This was my Google Draw. In here, I put the map to Hall Tech. I put it in here, and I put a little block on for closet, little block on for closet, and then I drew my pink lines in the hallway to show this is where the cable trays would be routed. All right. When I'm done with this, I can just do a file, download. This can either be JPEG or PDF. Either one of those is fine. Either one of those would be readable in D2L. So I'd export that and submit that. If you wanted to put more on here, you could, but I'm only looking for just the closets and the trays on this guy. And that shows the piece that I can't show here. It's not easy to draw trays on here, so just put it in this guy is fine. So there's the next piece of my plan, the cable plan maps. Again, most of it's going to be in the packet tracer file. Equipment rack drawings. Again, we're going to look at your packet tracer file. I'm going to open up the closet, and we should see in here the rack with our patch panels wired up, and our switch in here because we connected our two switches together with a fiber link. So I'll take a peek in both closets, make sure they're basically wired up, and I'm putting little air quotes around that. Make sure they're wired up. And the other piece is we're going to look at the draw.o file that you created to show your equipment racks. So this one right here, I believe, is here's my equipment rack. Here's my draw.o file. You'll want to make sure after you've done this, and in here I think I have my two equipment racks. You can load up a little quicker there. There's my two equipment racks. And I put labels here, which closet they are. I basically created one, copy pasted the other one, and quick edited it to represent the other closet. Once you have this is your patch panel, neat patch switch. Patch panel, neat patch switch kind of thing. Down here's a power strip, and I put a UPS in. I know we're not factoring that in the plan, but I put it in there because realistically it would be. Once this is done, just do a file. Again, on this one, export. We'll do export as JPEG or PDF. Either one of those would be fine, JPEG or PDF. And that can be then submitted right to the Dropbox on D2L. So there is our equipment rack drawings. Keep on going. The cabinet fill load table, when we selected our cable trays, we looked at that chart to determine what size of cable tray we would need. So what I did was I drug that cable tray chart into my Google Draw here, okay? And then I just put a big old block around the tray I selected. So if we zoom in there, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. This was the tray. I picked the 2-inch deep by 8-inch wide. I just put a big old square around that to say this is the tray I selected. And that you'll submit with your bid spec to show a customer or whatever, this is why we picked this size tray for you. Because again, they'll look at the price and go, wow. So when you're done here, do file download, and we can do JPEG or PDF again. JPEG or PDF. Either one of those would be readable on D2L. So there's my load table. We need the timeline. We need our project plan timeline. This is the timeline we did again here on draw.io. So I'm going to go to here's my project plan. I'm going to open this guy up. This is the project plan we did here on draw.io. And you can load a little quicker. This is one where we showed the major tasks we're going to do over here on the left. And then on the right, we kind of approximated we're going to take about a week here, that sort of thing. When this is all done, when you have this guy all edited out, again, do a file, export as, and we're going to do, this one either can do JPEG or PDF again. JPEG or PDF. Either one of those is readable on D2L. Download that guy to submit to D2L. And are project descriptions. This was the Microsoft Word or Google Doc that you created to describe all the pieces of the plan that we couldn't put in the charts and graphs and so forth. So this guy right here, here was my project descriptions. This is where I answered each one of these with a couple sentences. You know, why did I select the media I did? Why did I select the closets I did? How am I routing the cabling of the room and that sort of thing. When this is all done, when you have all your edits and everything in here, this is where you want to spell check and make sure you're using third-person writing, use your company name, that sort of thing. Check your spelling, that sort of stuff. When that's all done, you can do File, Download as, you can do Microsoft Word or PDF. Either one of those would be fine, Microsoft Word or PDF. D12 understands those files. And the only thing left, and I didn't put it strictly here, but make sure you have your packet tracer file. Make sure you have all the pieces in there. And in this guy, just do a save as your PKT right there, PKT. You can leave it as is. Just save with your changes, and then you'll submit that packet tracer file. I think I have it out here. Yeah, here's my backbone link. This is the last one I did. This, just leave it as is, PKT. You're going to submit that right to the Dropbox. I'll download that and open that up with packet tracer and see all the work you have in there, all the closets and the cable routing and everything in your plan. So in this case, you'll be gathering up your spreadsheet. You'll gather up your packet tracer file and the drawing of your building showing the cable trays. Again, your packet tracer file, and then your equipment rack drawing, draw.io file, Cabofield load table, project plan, that was the draw.io file, and then your Microsoft Word file. And those will be the files you're submitting to D2L for our bid sophistication project.